I must say, as a member of the company, I'm astounded at what a lovely atmosphere there is when you come to work there. It's professional. Even though a lot of the crew may be volunteers and very young people, it is tremendously professional. It is very well organized, or at least as we see it. And there is an atmosphere of people just having the time of their lives doing this. That's very rare.
I agree. And, Steve, one of the things that really, I've talked to you about this before, one of the things that really jumps off the screen at me is the just incredibly polished and professional-looking production. A lot of web soaps, and this is not to say anything bad about other shows, but none of them are as good as yours, but a lot of other shows just don't have that really, pretty, you look at it and you're like, man, you could edit these episodes together and put them on TV right now, and they have the production values that would stand up against shows like, The Office, Modern Family, whatever. How do you do that on such a low budget?
Well, it's trial by fire, and you rely a lot on favors of extremely talented people. I said a long time ago when I did theater for most of the 90s and the early 2000s, when I was doing a ton of theater, I would surround myself with the most talented people I know. Wait, am I allowed to curse on your show?
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
Oh, I am? Okay, good. So this is what I was going to say. So I would surround myself with the most talented people I know and stay the fuck out of their way. And that's what I would do. And that's what I've done ever since. Pretty is, I'm so fortunate, John and Doug from Velvet Candy are my co-executive producers. They've produced quite a few independent features, including Socket, and they have an understanding of how to get a lot of bang for your buck with very little buck. We also lucked out. I mean, in our very first season, our editor is my editor who I work with full-time. I work in television. And he offered to do it for all the editing for free. Not only did he do that, but he said, you need to meet my friend Gretchen. She is the head director of photography for America's Next Top Model. I sent Gretchen the script. I said, I have absolutely no money to pay you. She read it. She laughed so hard, and she said, I'll just do this because it's 4 days and it's hilarious, and I'd love to work with you. We hit it off so well that she worked the second season, and then I was so disappointed because the third season she got pulled away to Greece because that's where America's Next Top Model was going, and so she couldn't go with us. So we got a new DP. Our audio guy works in film. The hair and makeup people, and Denise can tell you about them, they're all people who work on television commercials, in television, on films. And it's really like a unique group of people who have come together, and led by our incredible cast. And I think it's a mixture of us all learning as we go. It's always fascinating to me to go back to watch the very first episode of Pretty and then look at it now and how far it's come. In the very first season, we were doing standard definition filming because it was the cheapest way to film. The second season, we did high def, which is a little more expensive. And this season, we're doing what's called 7D, which, you can see every wrinkle, every pore, every eyelash.
Indeed you can.
How exciting for everyone.
Right? And it looks
yeah.
incredible. It looks incredible. But I think what makes it doing is that overall, the people steering this ship, myself, John and Doug, Barbara Farmer, my incredible line producer, all these people, Kirsten Vangsness, who is an executive producer this season, we're all in television. We all work in it, and we all know how to do it. And this is like I said, this is our fun, and we just apply everything we know. And I appreciate that. It's what you said. When I first started writing this, I researched a lot of other web shows, and what I was finding was a lot of good ideas with horrible lighting, a lot of good ideas with the worst sound I've ever heard in my life, a lot of bad ideas with incredible sound and lighting, and I was watching everything, and the key things for me was a unique idea that do something no one else is doing. That's been my goal in anything I do, and do it the best that we possibly can do it. And so that's how we've done it. And I appreciate it so much when anyone tells me that it looks like it could be on TV right now. That's the greatest compliment you could give me.
I have to add something to that. When you had finished the second season and I came to the wonderful, I don't know what you called it, the event that you had at the Gay and Lesbian Center?
Yeah, we had a screening there, yep.
The screening. They did run it, Richard. They ran it exactly the way you were talking about, edited together. And I think it made about a sort of a half-hour piece.
Yeah, we did the entire, we have an edited version of the season 1. It's exactly 25 minutes.
It's stunningly good. How it holds, how it flows, how it looks as though it was created. And these were little, 4-minute segments over a several months period. But to see it like that, I remember coming back from it and telling my husband, I'm so impressed. Because seeing the little pieces, you don't get the sense of how good the arcs are, how good the continuity is, the movement, the flow, the editing has always been amazing. And I have to say, this year I'm just stunned by the editing. And there's also something that occurred to me while you were talking, Steve, which is you guys do this in complete creative freedom. You don't have to deal with the network notes, with sponsor notes, with the standards and practices notes. You are so free. And I think not only you take that freedom and you put it with people who are truly professionals, and it's like heaven. And something wonderful comes out of it.
That's really important too, what you just said, Denise, because I don't answer to anybody. I answer to me. It all stops, it all stops with me. It all starts with me and it all stops with me. I have a great team, but I told them from the beginning, I've learned this in theater, you can't produce theater with a group of people. Someone's got to be in charge. And so if we fly or if we crash and burn, I'll take full responsibility. And thank God, 99.9% of the time we have flown. There are little things I'd love to go back and change, and there are little things that happen that no one would know. In our very first season, and Richard, you might remember this, in the first season of Pretty, Annette pulls up her shirt and she gets kicked out of the Miss Star Eyes pageant. Yeah. And we did a bit where on the page of what I wrote in the script, Royce comes over to the hotel and he knocks on the door, and we allude to the fact that Uncle Ethan is ready to sleep with Royce to get Annette back in the pageant. Mm-hmm. We shot all of it, we edited it, and in a script format, it reads perfectly. You get it. When you saw it, you're like, why is Royce there? Why is Uncle Ethan now bisexual? What is going on? And so when I saw that, and we had already put episodes up, we had already put up the first three episodes, this was the fourth episode, I went, oh my God, I didn't establish that. And so I called up Troy, who plays Ethan, I called up Michael, who plays Royce. I said, can you guys meet me in the parking lot of the chapel? We didn't even call the chapel where we shot. I said, just meet me in the parking lot.
It's called guerrilla shooting.
It's guerrilla shooting. I said, we're not getting, John will kill me if he hears this interview. We're not getting a permit. I'm going to shoot it out of the side of my car so no one will know. I took another camera. Stacey McQueen let me borrow hers. And I shot this insert scene where I had Royce packing up his car, and then they trade numbers, and he gives him a number, and Royce smiles at the camera, and that's all I needed. But that's one of the few times where the whole thing where we plotted everything out, and I went, oh, crap, it's not going to work. And I can't tell you how many times that Nicole, who's my present editor for the last two seasons, I sit and go, oh, crap, as I'm watching a rough cut string out going, it's not going to read, it's not going to read. And then we get to the 8th, 9th minutes, and the credits roll, and I'm like, holy cow, we made it through another one. Mm-hmm. And I didn't forget anything. I didn't have to loop anything. I think, and we are a great team. We are a great team. God bless all my script continuity people, from Barbara Farmer to Thordis Howard to the wonderful Heidi Moore, who we've never missed. We missed one line in the last 3 seasons, and Sam Pancake came over and read it as a voiceover. I made it a voiceover. So it's a lot of work, but like I said, we just try to keep it fun.
You know, Steve Silverman, don't even try and think that I'm not completely on to you in what you're doing right now. You're practicing. You're running through all of these names on the show so that come February, when you have to stand up in front of people and make acceptance speeches, they rattle off your tongue, and you've got them all. I know you. I'm on to you. I know exactly what you're doing.
I have my acceptance speech planned out. I'm stealing Kirstie Alley's. When Kirstie Alley won the Emmy for Cheers, she got up and she said, when I was a young girl, I was fat and I had no friends, and everyone was mean to me. All the kids in school were mean to me, and now I'd like to name them. And that is exactly the speech that I am planning. No, you know what is funny is last season
a tremor just went through Hollywood. A tremor of fear. Oh, my God, please don't let him name me.
You know what's so funny is that last season when we got nominated for some Indie Inner Tube Awards and we got nominated for the Indie Soap Awards, you know, Stacey McQueen and I were talking, and I said, this is awesome. You know, it's awesome to be nominated for stuff and to have with the IAW TV people, which is in Las Vegas in January, we have 3 nominations. These are my peers. This is the equivalent of the Emmys. These are the other web series creators nominating people. And it's great, and I appreciate it. But like I said, awards or no awards, nothing makes me happier than hearing somebody just say that they watched the show and they laughed, or I love when they're offended. When they're offended, even better. The pretty team.
You see, Richard, you see where it comes from?
See?
I do. I do.
The pretty team walked the AIDS walk this year for the 2nd year in a row. And myself, John and Doug, my boyfriend Jim, Nicole, our editor, Terry Simmons, who plays Parker, we all walked the AIDS walk, and we had on we just wore our pretty T-shirts. And it's Team Pretty, and we walked. And we were walking back, because I live close enough to the start-off. We were walking back to my house, and, you know, they shut down all of Santa Monica Boulevard. There's several 100,000 people, I believe, who do this walk. It's crazy amounts of people, thousands of people. And we're walking, we're walking. And this group of guys are walking past us, and this guy runs over to us and pokes me in the chest with the word pretty on my chest and says, "That's an awesome show."
Really?
And I just stopped, and I just went, "Thank you." And he's like, "I've watched every episode." And he turned to Terry, who plays Parker, and said, "You're awesome," and ran off. And we just all started laughing. We started laughing.
She is. Parker and Rabina are probably, if I can't be one, I would like, at the office, I would like to think that I'm totally a Parker, but in reality, I'm totally a Rabina, and I know it. I know that I am crazy, crazy Rabina at my worst at the office, and I'm okay with that. I can live with that.